Hi, welcome back to my channel. Hope you've been okay since you last saw me. I've been pretty alright myself. So I went on r slash am I the asshole and I found some pretty good ones. I haven't read them. I've just read the title and went through the comments just to see if it was a little juicy. So let's read them together. Okay, so the first story is by Radiant Ad 9575, I believe. Yes. And it's called Am I the Asshole for Saying to My Sister Our Jobs Aren't the Same? Let's see. Last night, my sister and I went to a dinner party to catch up with friends. We went to the same school together, and friends were heard from. Oh, I can't read.
What up? I'm Jared, I'm 19, and I never fucking learned how to read.
My friends were her friends' younger siblings. Before COVID-19 happened, we hadn't seen each other for a long 2 years, and COVID happened, so oh my god, let me start over.
What up? I'm Jared.
Before COVID-19 happened, we hadn't seen each other for at least 2 years, and COVID happened, so it's been 5 years since we all saw each other. A lot has changed. Many of us have graduated and have full-time jobs. Many have gone off to start a PhD and so on. Okay. Okay. Y'all doing good for yourselves. My sister works at a high school as an English teacher, whereas I work at a university as a university research lecturer. Big title, okay. My sister spends 80% of her working hours teaching, and the other 20% of the time is spent making and doing admin. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that's like lesson planning. I don't know. During dinner, a friend of hers asked, What? Y'all, I don't know why I chose to read Reddit stories like I can read. Anyways, during dinner, a friend of hers asked what I was up to now. Before I got a chance to answer, my sister butted in, saying she got the same job as me. She teaches. At this point, I said no. We don't have the same job. I corrected the fact that she works as a teacher at a secondary school. I work at a university, and I only spend 10 hours a week teaching. The rest is spent researching my field of work, coming up with new project proposals, publishing, and much more. I'm gonna say right now, they have the same job, but they don't, because like she said, she doing research and everything. Like, I mean, lesson planning is, I don't know if that really counts as research. It probably takes a lot for real, but I don't know. She kind of right so far. I do admit that I have an attitude problem, but I don't know why. Most of the time, anything I say comes out in a rude tone, even though I don't mean to. I immediately apologize for giving a rude attitude, as it genuinely meant nothing. However, I didn't apologize for correcting my sister. We had dinner and went home. I noticed my sister was in a mood while dropping off her back to her place. This morning, I woke up to a message from my sister, which was a paragraph calling me an hole for looking down upon her job and being downright rude. I sent a message back saying I knew my attitude came off rude, but I apologized for it straight away when I noticed. I said I don't look down upon you because you're a teacher. I won't apologize for correcting you and saying my job is different. You are a teacher, and most of your hours are spent teaching. The rest is spent marking and doing admin tasks. Mine is spent marking, doing admin, creating research proposals, helping in projects, publishing, and much more. She is still mad at me. Was I in the wrong? I don't think she was in the wrong. like she said, she had an attitude, and like she apologized for the attitude, but at the same time, they really don't have the same job. Like, y'all in the same field, but it's not the same job. Like, I don't have the same job requirements or job responsibilities. It's probably a better word. But I don't think she's an asshole. I really don't. And feel free to leave in the comments what you think, because we might not agree. The next story is by user Morin Rise, and it is Am I the Asshole for not agreeing with my wife's seemingly random prohibitions for my nieces when they visit? Let's see, y'all. My wife, 24 female, and I, 26 male, got into an argument because she didn't think the way I spent time with my nieces was acceptable. Context: I lived with my sisters since my niece, 11 female, was born. Obviously she's a female. You said niece. But anyway. Last year, I moved out on my own, and in the same year, I got married to my wife. Because of the rapid shift in life and work becoming more busy than ever, I hadn't had time to God, y'all, I can't read. Like, I picked the most comprehensive video. Anyways. I hadn't had the time or energy to make... What? I need to make the font bigger. I think that's my problem. Because of the rapid shift in life and work becoming more busy than ever, I hadn't had time or energy to make time for the part of my family. Recently, I made time to invite my niece over. No plans, just for her to come over and hang out with my wife and I. Okay. After picking her up on the way home, she talked about wanting to build a snowman and a bunch of other things we thought would be fun. After getting home with my wife, she says that while niece and I go out to play in the snow, she'll finish some chores around the house. Before going out, my niece sees my VR headset and shows interest, so I offered to let her play it before we go outside. She says yes, so I start it up and she starts playing. 5 minutes pass and my wife comes into the room and asks why we aren't outside yet. I tell her that my niece wanted to play the VR first, so I let her. My wife gets upset, saying video games isn't quality time.
So,
Anyways. I respond with, we're spending time together and my niece is having fun, so why does it matter? My wife storms off. Soon after, niece and I go out and make a couple of snowmen and snow angels. After playing in the snow for 30-ish minutes, my niece asks to play VR again. I say yes, and she skips away to the VR in the living room. We switch back and forth, trying to beat each other's score and Beat Saber and stuff like that. I feel like that's quality time. What is she talking about? Especially, like, you could play Beat Saber with 2 people. So maybe she don't know how video games work. Fast forward, I drop my niece back off at home and come back home, and my wife has a list made out for me when I walk into the door. It's a list of things that our youngest guests are not allowed to do while at our house. Wow. And on the list, it is no playing video games amongst other seemingly arbitrary prohibitions. I say the list is not necessary because when I bring my family or friends over, I'm going to do what we enjoy, rightfully so. She says that's no way to spend time with kids. Doing nothing but playing video games. I like doing crafts and playing board games and other things with my siblings when they come over. Why can't you do the same? I respond because we weren't raised to do those things, so I don't think to do those things. But if you offer to try some of those things when she was still here, I would have obliged. Like, girl, you're doing a lot. Oh my God. But I'm not going to accept a list of prohibitions because you don't like our version of fun. The argument escalated and I may have sort of said mean things like, you're too narrow-minded and dull to accept things other than what you are. Other than what you like. Alright, he should have said that. He should have said that. That was kind of out of pocket. Am I the a-hole? I don't think he is. Maybe for that last little part where he tried to eat her up a little bit. He was wrong for that. But I don't think overall he's the a-hole because, like he said, maybe our version of quality time is not the same version as your quality time. Like, and again, you could play video games together, like, as they were doing. They were taking turns. She's acting like he put the VR over his niece's head and was like, all right, bye. Yeah, no. Not the asshole. Okay, so the next one is by Reddit user Playdate Snacks, and it is titled, Am I the a-hole for not buying snacks for my daughter's best friend at a playdate? Let's see. I have an 11-year-old daughter, Ellie. She has a best friend, Sophie, 12. Both of the girls have special needs and are mentally 6 years old. Sophie's mom called me yesterday and said that there was an indoor playground and Sophie wanted to know if Ellie could come and play. Sophie's mom offered to put me on her punch card. She prepays for 10 to 20 visits at a time because it's just cheaper. So it would be free for me. So I got Ellie in the car and we went to the playground. After an hour of playing, the girls started to get hungry. I packed a snack for Ellie, but Sophie's mom didn't have any snacks on her. I told her they sell snacks in the front, but she claimed that she didn't have any money on her and asked me to buy Sophie some goldfish. I said, sure, Venmo me and I'll grab some. She said no.
Insufficient funds. You ain't got no money.
But I took care of my kid, and it's not my job to take care of hers too. She says she paid for my kid to get in so I could cover the $2 for the goldfish. I told her if she wanted me to bring snacks, she should have told me when she invited me, but I wasn't wasting $2 for a 50-cent bag of goldfish because she was unprepared. She went up to the front, and I don't know if she lied about not having money, but came back with the goldfish and fruit snacks. Now she's being petty by asking me to pay her back for all the times we've used their membership and guest passes, so we're not getting along. I'm going to have to see her at school drop-off and pickup, ballet class, gymnastic class, and girls' weekly play dates. So I wanted to know if I was the a-hole for not buying her kid a snack. I'ma say I really don't know. Because, like, I get what the lady trying to say, like, I did pay for you to get in here, so, like, you can't spend $2. But, like, at the same time, she's right. Like, I'm not obligated to do that. Like, I think I'm gonna say she's not the a-hole, because it's just the way that she threw it back in her face. And then you lied and said you didn't have no money, but then you just came back with all this stuff. So where was the I don't have no money? So yeah, I'm gonna say she the a-hole, because I know, like, me and my friends, we're not gonna ask you to pay each other back. Like, if you do something for me, I'm just gonna do something for you. So I don't know. I feel like this was very simple. She could have just spent $2. It wasn't really that deep, especially if y'all girls play together all the time. I'm sure y'all know each other for real. But it's just the fact that she lied. She lied to say, I don't have no money. Then gonna come back with more food. So you did have money. The next post is by the thrower of Always 24. And it's titled, Am I the a-hole for not complaining that my plane seat got moved? Being an a-hole for not complaining? I feel like there's no way you could be an a-hole if you're not complaining. But let's see. Recently, I, 20 male, have returned from an international trip with my girlfriend, 21 female, and her sister, 17 female. On our return trip, the plane we had taken had only 4 seats per row, 2 on either side of the aisle. So the seating arrangement that we So the seating arrangement that we would have used is my girlfriend and her sister next to each other, and I would sit right behind them next to somebody else, or if I was lucky, sit to an empty seat. My girlfriend's sister has a fear of flying, so my girlfriend had to sit next to her, and I was okay with sitting outside of their row, so we booked these seats in advance. At the airport, while we were at our gate waiting to board, literally about 5 minutes before boarding started, the gate agent called me up and told me that my assigned seat had been moved 9 rows up in order to accommodate a family that had to sit together. I was not asked beforehand at all if I wanted to move my seat, and when I got to the gate agent, they already had a new boarding pass printed out for me. When I returned to my girlfriend and her sister to tell them that my seat had been moved, my girlfriend asked why I didn't complain that they moved and demanded my original seat back. I replied that I just didn't think so at the moment. She then tells me to go back up to the gate agent to complain, which I say that I didn't want to, as the plane was about to board anyways. Yeah, like, if he's not worried about it, then it's not that deep. I mean, I get maybe she wants to sit behind her, in front of her man, but I don't know, it ain't that serious. It's just a plane ride. I am not a confrontational person. My girlfriend knows that, as we've been dating for over a year. We had a tight connection after the flight, less than an hour, and the flight itself was rather short, also less than an hour. So I did not think it was a big deal to cause a scene or risk delaying the flight even by a moment, as I was nervous about missing the connection. Not to mention that I only found out literally 5 minutes before boarding the plane. Exactly, like, he just said it was a short ride. I'm not finna complain about a plane ride that's an hour less. Like, after this, my girlfriend got very mad, saying things like, I don't know why you can't stand up for yourself, and I'm pissed that we had to sit in the back of the plane and we're not even sitting by each other. When I booked the flight, the back half of the plane was the only spot where all 3 of us could sit in close proximity due to the other seats being booked. She and her sister okayed the arrangement before I booked the seats, and I did not foresee myself getting moved. After we boarded the plane before takeoff, my girlfriend texts me, the family behind us is a couple, good job. To which I replied, they just told me it was a family. To which she said, She kind of, After the plane landed, my girlfriend didn't talk to me and seemed to ignore me for most of the rest of the day, even when I talked to her. I was seated next to her on our next flight, which was much longer, and she barely talked to me or acknowledged me, which made me sad. I don't think it's fair that she's very mad at me for something that was outside of my control, but I just want a third-party opinion. Am I the a-hole? Absolutely not. You're definitely not the a-hole. It was a flight that was less than an hour. You're sitting next to your sister. Not like you're sitting next to a stranger. It was not that deep. Like, and like he said, it was 5 minutes before the flight. Like, who's finna sit there and argue? Well, I mean, people will sit there and argue 5 minutes before a flight and delay the whole flight. And he had another connection. He's like, I'm not trying to do all that. Like, Yeah, she did entirely too much. It was never that deep. They weren't sitting next to each other anyways, so why does it matter? The next post is by Thunderbear998 and it's titled, "Am I the a-hole for telling my extended family how many men, roughly, my sister has slept with after she outed our youngest brother as a virgin?" This sound wild. For real. It's kind of short, but I don't know. We had a family dinner this evening. My family has 4 kids in total. Me, my eldest sister, 29 female, my youngest sister, 24 female, and my youngest brother, 22 male. Extended family attended our family dinner. So all of our significant others, our cousins, aunts, uncles, etc. During the dinner, my eldest sister and my youngest brother got into a mild disagreement. My sister seemed, at least to me, to be coming across very aggressive out of frustration and losing said argument. The two of them were too absorbed in their argument to realize the rest of us were getting a little bit fed up. Eventually, my sister gets really fed up and says, "Shut up, I'm not going to argue with a 22-year-old virgin." Wow, in front of the extended family is crazy. My brother hadn't done any personal attacks until that point. It was completely unprovoked. I think I might have been the alcohol, as my sister is a mean drunk. Yeah, get her out of here. Get her out of here. Anyway, I immediately told my sister to grow up and that she was making an embarrassment of herself. She replied by saying, "Everyone knows he's a virgin," and she didn't say anything wrong.
I think you're fat.
Yeah,
it's just my opinion. I'm not bullying you. I'm just giving you opinion. I think you're ugly. I think you're fat. I think you're stupid.
This annoyed me, as my brother definitely has confidence issues and doesn't need to be made fun of like this. It's definitely not in front of his entire family. Like, that was nobody's business. So I responded by saying how she slept with over 100 men while she was in college, and that since everyone in the family knows that it's not a big deal, right? Why would she say that? Turns out her husband didn't know this. Wow. I genuinely assumed he must have known. He left the party angrily, saying my sister misled him about her past. Family is blaming me for their marital problems. I refuse to accept I did anything wrong. My sister bullied my brother in front of everyone, and all I did was gave her a taste of her own medicine. I'm gonna just go ahead and say y'all all a-holes. Because y'all should not be doing this in front of the extended family. Like, if it was just you and your brothers and the mom and the dad, okay, whatever. It's stay in the house. But you did this. Y'all did this in front of y'all significant others, y'all uncles, y'all aunties, grandma. My mom's poor heart. like what she said was out of pocket. Like, you know, but dang, I don't know. I don't think if this situation happened outside of a family dinner, I would say you're not the a-hole. But because it happened at a family dinner, I'm going to say everybody's an a-hole in this situation. Like, that was never meant to leave the immediate family. Never, no. So our last story for today is by Renegades Rule 33. And it's, "Am I the asshole for despising my mental..."
What did I just say?
Wait, I just read that. Wait, that's freaking wild. I wrote these down or like typed them up like months ago. So I forgot that was in there. But anyways, it says, "Am I the a-hole for despising my mentally handicapped sister?"
This may be one of the greatest stories ever told. It's got it all. It's got a little something for everyone.
Anyways. Yeah. Okay, I just read the first line. It says, "The title makes me sound horrible, but hear me out." Yeah. At least you know. At least you know. "My sister is severely autistic. She requires attention almost 24/7 and cannot be left alone. She is nonverbal and cannot talk. Oh, I can't. She is nonverbal and cannot take care of herself at all. Despite the fact that she is only 12, she is extremely destructive and violent and destroys everything she gets her hands on." Okay, she has a mental disability. It happens. Oh, I hate her. Wow. That should be wrong to say, but it doesn't feel like it. Whoa. Not you hate her. That's crazy. That's like wild. Oh my God.
This is not a banger. This is not a banger. And I know bangers.
I was only 6 years old when she was born, and since then, I've never solely had my parents' attention. Ever since I can remember, the world has revolved around her. I was moved out of my room into the basement at 7 because she needed to be in the room next to my parents. All of my toys as a child were destroyed by her, and my parents simply ignored me when I complained. Even when I was 14, she destroyed a Mac my school gave me and I was in the wrong. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't think you should be in the wrong for that. Along with this, I am expected to take care of her and drop everything I do for her. I can never make plans with my friends because my parents expect me to be there if they need to take care of her. Even when I do somehow get time to myself, I am required to leave if they need me. If I don't, then I'm punished. The recent example of this is when I went to see the new Spider-Man movie and was grounded because I turned my phone off in the theater. Well, you probably shouldn't have did that in general. It's a little dangerous. It seems as if I am nothing more than a slave to them, and anything involving her simply overshadows me. This last week, I was chosen to give a speech at school. I was so excited, and my parents promised to be there, but they never showed and claimed it was because of my sister. Anytime anything like this happens for me, they're too busy. I've held this in for so long, and it finally spilled out today. While talking about colleges with my father, he joked that I should get a degree that pays well, so when they're gone, I can take care of my sister. I don't know why, but this caused me to break down. I cried and screamed about how it's always about her. Ooh. Yikes. I'm nothing more than a caretaker to them, that they always make it about her, and that I'm expected to be her slave for the rest of my life. I locked myself in my room since, and my parents have not come to check on me. Am I the a-hole? Ooh. Ooh. I'm just like, I get her frustration. For her to say that she hates her sister is crazy. Like, you can hate the situation or, hate that you don't get enough attention, but to say you hate your sister is crazy. Like, she don't have no control over anything that she does. She's autistic. Like, if that's her disability, you just have to live with it. I understand what she means by, like, her parents are using her as a caretaker, because at the same time, if she's how old is she? Did she even say? Okay, so if she was 6 when her sister was born, that means that she's 18. I can understand, not being able to get your parents' attention for so long. It probably would take a kind of a toll on you, but at the same time, you kind of gotta understand, like she said, she's nonverbal. She can't take care of herself at all. Now her parents constantly pushing on her like, oh, you gotta drop everything you gotta do to take care of your sister. If it's like once in a while or not too often, you just gotta be understanding of that. But every time, I can understand why she's really upset about that. But to say you hate her is wild. Don't hate your sister. She can't control that. She really can't. Like, I'm surprisingly, you know what? No, I think she is the asshole. I'm only gonna say she's the asshole because she said she despises her sister. Her sister hasn't done anything. If she's gonna despise anybody, it should be her parents. So I'm gonna say you are the a-hole. I understand where you're coming from, but this is not the way to go about it at all. Well, that was our last story, and that's the end of this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, because it's all free. Might as well. I like free stuff. What about you? But I will see you guys later. Bye.